What's going on, y'all, man? Hope y'all doing well. I woke up literally 2 hours ago, and if my eyes are baggy, y'all gotta forgive me, cause I'm just out here. But I woke up 2 hours ago, and I turned on the podcast, and a section in the podcast I began to start talking about purpose, and it snapped for me in my head. I just had ideas start to flow and pour into my mind. And because I feel like this is a big thing people talk about, purpose. Like, what am I here for? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? I don't feel purposeful in currently what I'm doing. Should I add something onto that, or should I completely change my career? All these things, and even myself, like I still have those thoughts and those beliefs at certain times that what I'm doing is not as purposeful. And I have to rearrange those thoughts and just figure out, where am I going? What am I supposed to be doing? And it's just consistent over and over again. And I began to start looking back in my life. All right. So if it's okay with y'all, I'm going to share a story. And after that, I'm going to give you guys some practicals when we jump in the word and kind of break you down on finding your purpose and you finding security in whatever God has called you to do and the people he's called you to serve. So firstly, before coming into faith, I've thought about purpose a couple times. It wasn't like a thing that was on me a lot, but what I feel like helped me just being purposeful in that period of time is just, no matter what I was doing, I would do it to the best of my ability. Like, no matter what it was. And I know you probably think like, bro, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, man, I got kids. I work in fast food. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent next month. Like, all these things. And trust me, I know exactly where you're going. Listen, I've been in plenty of seasons before. But I really wanted you to take note of that. Like, what are you doing with the current things that you have now? Like, how are you taking on the relationship that you are in with this man or woman? Like, are you truly loving them? Are you taking care of them? Are you cheating on them? Like, all these things. Like, are you treating that person with extreme amount of value? The job that you have now, are you blessed to go in there? Like, are you excited to go into work? I know a lot of you guys probably like, nah, but are you grateful for it? Like, when you stepping in that building and you have a job to do, are you doing it to the max of your ability? Or you find yourself trying to go sneak off in the bathroom and kill some time? Or trying to destroy the job from internally? So some questions you need to ask yourself, because and I've been in those positions too, where I used to be playing around, but I feel like for the majority of it, I was just doing the best that I can when it came to, making fries and flipping burgers at McDonald's. Like, I'm gonna make sure the fries are crispy, salted very well. When I package up your bag, I'm gonna fold it nice, place everything in there nicely. We don't want no fries falling all over the place. You know what I mean? Just being very detailed and very careful, and just very grateful for the opportunities that I do have. And that's gonna relate to some scriptures that we go dive into as well. You know what I mean? Like, taking care of a few things so he can bless you with much more. But just related to that story, I feel like our purpose starts with where we at now. What type of environment? What are you doing now? Like, what is in front of you currently? This is your purpose. This is what you've called. This is what you have been called to do. And I feel like that you just need to walk in that and do it to the best of your ability, and allow God to continue to move you up that ladder, and allow God to move you into different places. And once you die to this self of what you want and all these things, I'm telling you guys, just wait, because we about to get in here. But once you die into all those fleshy desires, and you just say, listen, God, listen, I know you had better for me. I know you knew me from when I was in the womb. So I want you to guide me. And once you start to notice, that job from McDonald's can turn to a job at UPS. That job from UPS can turn you to a job where you work in an intern at somebody that you work for. Not work for somebody that you met delivering a package, and they interning you at their business that they need partners from. Next thing you know, they add you on as a consulting or a part of their team. It's just like, you just don't know what happens when you walk in faith. But you have to be purposeful. You have to be grateful. You have to be obedient. You have to be thankful for what God has blessed you with today, and walk in that boldly. And I know with social media, and this is the biggest thing, the environment, this digital environment, the physical environments that you are hanging around with, they're not where you at. They are 10 steps ahead of you, and you're constantly being reminded of you not being at that same place. So you are ungrateful about what you do have because you really want this. So the small blessings that do come and the things that God is trying to bless you with, you just looking at it and throwing it to the side because it's not matching what you see online. Got me? So before I dive all the way in, I want to do a 4-step thing. And I want to talk about when it comes to finding your purpose, it always starts with identity. Okay? Who am I? Who am I? What have I been called to do? Why am I here on this earth? Okay? And we go start in Jeremiah 1:5. And it reads, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Okay? I don't want to go. I'm not trying to go fast. I want to sit for a second. Okay? Firstly, you must recognize that you are God's child. Okay? Like the person that you are now, your identity is within Christ. Your identity is not you're a Capricorn or you're a Sagittarius. Your identity is not I'm $1 million man, or your identity is I'm a mother of 6. Your identity is not I used to be an alcoholic or a teen mom, or I used to be a bully back in high school. Your identity is not in any of those things. Your identity is in Christ. All right? And I want you to know that's truly rooted there. Okay? Because once you realize that you are, your identity is within Christ, that you are God's child, now you start to understand, okay, I'm God's child. The man, the God that created heaven and earth, the God that created the grass that we walk on, the God that created nature, the God that created human beings that we are interacting with today, that is my Father. So now you start to walk with a whole nother different level of confidence now. Whole nother different level of confidence, a whole nother different level of purpose. Like that one verse should give you enough ammunition to be like, okay, cool. All right, yeah, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I know I'm God's child. And I have a purpose to be on this earth, right? So now it's just time. It's just going to take me some time to find out what my purpose is. And I'll be walking in that fully. But for right now, my purpose is to do what is in front of me. Your identity is within Christ. And I wasn't even going to go here. I had some other points. But we go keep reading Jeremiah because I have something I outlined here I want to read for you guys too as well. So right after that, after the word, from the Lord came to Jeremiah, when it talks about, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Okay, then you go to verse 6 and 7, and it reads, alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. Okay, this is what Jeremiah is saying. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Now this whole video about to take a shift because I want to sit on this just for a second because you feel unqualified. Sometimes you feel unqualified. Sometimes you feel too weak. Sometimes you feel like there's other people out there that's better than you at this thing. Why would God want me to do this? Now that's for them. Yeah, I'm not that type of person. I like to do other stuff, behind the scenes, or I'm waiting for my opportunity to be in front of the camera. So the stuff behind the scenes is really not for me. Like, it's so powerful there because where we are weak, that is when God makes himself more known. When we acknowledge the weakness, that is when we are powerful. And you say to yourself, you think you're too young. And I'm just envisioning God like looking at, Jeremiah during this period of time. And he's just laughing. He's just smirking. He's just smirking because it's just like Jeremiah really is not understanding who God is and the type of protection, the type of power that he has. Right. And he will give Jeremiah a cup that runneth over. But I just want to let you know that, like I said, I wanted to stop there for a second because you may be thinking you're too young, you're underqualified, you're too weak to do this thing. But that is when God steps in. That is when his presence is made known. All right. That's where true faith comes in. So I want you to remove that out your vocabulary because you serve a living God. You serve a powerful God. You serve the Almighty God, the one that created everything and everyone. Okay. So there's not no opportunity that he brings in front of you that you cannot do. I don't care how big it is. I don't care how difficult it may look. I don't care how much it may get you out your comfort zone or something that you just may not be used to or it's not normal. Understand that you are qualified. You are qualified when you was born. You was qualified before you were born. He knew you before you even were in the womb. You understand me? Okay. I just want to make that known, man, because that was a big thing for me, especially starting a small group. I felt like, man, I don't even know the word. I don't know the Bible like that. I don't have all these things intact, but it's just like, listen, just say yes. And as the person that you are now, I will use you to multiply my kingdom. It's just like, it is not the healthy who need the sick. It's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. This is what he came back for. You. Okay. And I want you to sit in that. All right. Okay. So the second thing we're going to dive into, man, this is getting good. We're going to stop in 1 Peter 4:10. And we're going to talk about your gifts. Okay. I probably should have had these already. That's how y'all know what this is. This is just raw, man. We just going with it. All right. So go to 1 Peter 10. 1 Peter 4:10. And it reads, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Okay. We go break this all the way down, and this relates to what I was talking about previously about just using whatever that you had in front of you, like being resourceful. If you're working at McDonald's, you better flip them burgers with a passion. You got me? If you're working at a daycare, you better take care of them kids like they're yours. You got me? If you taking out trash, man, you better, man, hop off that truck with some speed, like take care of that trash. Put the canister back softly. Put it back exactly where they wanted to put. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying it jokingly, but for real though, man, because it's like each of us has a different set of skills that all combines together. Everybody can't be the president of the United States. Everyone can't be a CEO of a company. All right. Because that CEO needs an assistant that can help them out doing things that they don't know how to do. Man, you got these so many people. Man, I wanted to be a nurse. And they tried to make me take chemistry. You talking about you had to remember everything on the periodic table? Man, I got up out of there so fast, but it's just like, it takes people to see that as like, you know what, I'm going to do this no problem because I know I was called to be a nurse. They have a gift in something that I don't. Now, it's not to say that, I couldn't, go back and force myself and do it. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying other people have gifts that others don't. Okay. And I know it can get confusing sometimes because our gifts may seem smaller than other people's gifts. All right. If you were in a family with a lot of siblings, Sometimes at Christmas, you see a little bigger, a Christmas present over there. It's like, hey, nah, why I got all the small presents with my present at? Like you looking at all this stuff like, where's my present? You got me all these little small gifts, and they got that big box over there. What's going on? And you get into comparison. You begin to start comparing your gifts to other people's gifts. When I was talking about environment, what are you listening to? What you watching? But the crazy thing about that is that small gift that you think is so small can change generations. But you just never took the time and looked at it. Your ability to be compassionate with people is a gift. Your ability to comfort others is a gift. Your ability to teach, to lead by example, to take risk, to dominate any field that you step into, to be a provider. Like we just don't never take the time to look at those things because other people's gifts has produced a certain type of fruit that you want or that you feel like you want from the things that you have watched. And it's made you crave this fruit. But that's a whole nother story. But I just want you to recognize that you have gifts. Take some time to acknowledge them. Talk to some people like, hey, bro, like, what do you think I'm good at? Hey, girl, like, what do you think I'm good at, girl? Like, I'm trying to just figure out me. Like, what do you think I do very well? Be aware of it and hold on to it tight. Use it because it's purpose in that is going to help you in your future. And it's going to be a part of the purpose that you're looking for. Got me? So that's gifts. So we talked about identity. We talked about gifts. And now we're going to talk about, serving others. And we're going to dive into 1045. So you have your identity, right? You knowing that you are within Christ. Your identity is in Christ. And then we talked about your gifts. Everybody has their own different gifts. Don't compare your gifts to someone else's because you don't know what that gift comes with, And now we're going to talk about serving others, and we're going to hop into Mark right now. I believe it was Mark 10. Yeah, Mark 10:45. How y'all feeling, man? This is beautiful, man. I'm just flowing. Like I said, I literally woke up 2 hours ago and I was like, listen, I have to talk. And we go into it. So Mark 10:45 reads, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." So the Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one who created everything. He could have came down here on a gold sleigh if he wanted to. He could have came down here just floating, riding on the clouds, showing his worthiness, showing his authority, showing his leadership. But the level of humility that he had to come down here and decide to be a man in flesh and to serve people. Like, you got to understand, like, who you talking about right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to put it into words because you don't really. Man, God is so good. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. He came down here to serve others. So what you think you are here for? To serve. When I was talking about how all our gifts work together, all of our traumas, all of our hardships, all of our successes, all of our challenges, all of our transitions, all of our upgrades, downgrades, are meant to be used to serve others. Companies can't become billion-dollar industries. They can't become billion-dollar industries without serving somebody first. You got me? The trauma that you went through as a kid, that trauma can be used as a burden for you for the rest of your life and you just hold on to it. Or you can release it to your Father and share your testimony with other small children who may be going through that exact same thing, so they won't have to deal with the same pain that you had to go through. Serving. Your goals to be a leader, your goals to be up high ranks, like working at an amazing company. You want to be one day the CEO, the CFO, the COO. Usually you have to start at the base level employee position and serve. It's all serving. Like we were created to serve. And if you can take on that posture, the world becomes a better place. Because if I'm serving, right, with the gifts that God has blessed me with, you're serving with the gifts that God has blessed you with. Look at that exchange. We have the ability to remove pain from others' lives, which multiplies and it compounds. We have the ability to change generations. We have the ability to break off, chains that have been latched on from generations, from false ideologies, false beliefs that we had about ourselves, to share your testimony, to serve before you lead, learning how to crawl before you walk, like being okay with starting at ground zero and going from there. Like serving, like take that in, like make that a part of yourself. Take it in, make it a part of yourself. Serve. And no matter what it's doing, if you cooking for people, you serving. If you speaking, you serving. If you washing dishes, you serving. And that's what I was talking about when you making those burgers at McDonald's. I'll be joking about it, but it's for real. Like you're serving. Some people coming in there hungry, man, and you're making the food for them. That's level of service. Got me? I take that in, honestly. Okay? All right, and the last one here, where we at? We're about 22 minutes, 23 minutes. The last one here is faith and obedience. Okay? And we're going to dive into Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. Faith and obedience. So Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6 reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." So we were just summing all this stuff up from starting out from your identity, knowing that you are a man or woman of God, and you're rooted within Christ. Then we talked about your gifts, acknowledging your gifts. Like knowing that the gift that you have in your life, even though it may look small now, can break generational curses that can change the world. The third piece is about serving. Like being willing to share those gifts, serve people with the gifts that you have, serve people with the things that you have went through. And lastly is about faith and trusting in the Lord. What a blessing is it to know that whatever you ask for, you shall receive. What a blessing is it to understand that God is leading you in each and every single step of the way. If you just be obedient, if you just trust in him. If you just trust him, even when it gets to a point where you don't know, like it gets to that point where it's just like, all right, now, look, God, I'm trusting you a little extra right now. Like you rent was closed last month, like I'm out here trying to figure this thing out. Okay, I need you to make a way. Or it gets to a point where you almost cussing and screaming like, God, like, what are you doing to me? Like, I believed in you. I trust in you and all these things. Like, why do you keep doing this to me? Why are you removing people from my life? Why are you removing my friends? Why is it death in my family? What happened to my car? Why is my car breaking down all of a sudden, Lord? It was just this. Now it's that. Why is it just so much going on? When you can trust in your Father right then and there, that is when faith starts to happen. And you start to build these small increments of belief. He coming through. Okay, he came through. Like I thought about this was going to go wrong, but he came through. He came through. Like I thought. It was just a consistent thing over and over and over again. Trusting in your Lord and not leaning onto your own understanding. You may think your way is the best way to do something. It's natural. We're humans. Like who else are you going to be talking to, right? But God is very clear about talking to wise counsel. Not making decisions just by yourself. You can't trust your own heart. You got to understand, bro. We're coming generations and generations from sin. Okay? Your flesh want whatever that's going to make it feel happy in that period of time. It's not worried about your eternal life. Okay? So don't lean on your own understanding. And I'm not saying don't have no sense of intuition. I'm not saying like, okay, only get your information from outside sources. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whatever idea that you have, you need to bring it to your Father. Whatever goal or aspiration, whatever idea that you have, that you want, something that you want to create, or you're thinking about removing someone from your life or going to this place or doing that, talk to your Father first. Trust in Him. Why wouldn't you want to have a relationship, a sense of faith with the one who created you? You get what I mean? The one who created you. And it's different from like a mother or father. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's the one who created you and everybody else on this world. So who knows you down to the root, your exact thoughts. Why wouldn't you want to trust that person? Okay? So trust them. Like I said, this comes from prayer. This comes from fasting, seeking out the Lord, like pressing upon it. Lord, I need to know. Like, God, please tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm tired of sitting here not knowing what to do. And I'm tired of sitting here feeling lazy because I want to do this thing, but I just keep not doing it. Or I want to stop talking to this person and I can't stop talking to them. I want to be able to do this for my family and it's just not adding up. Like, talk to Him like that. Express everything to Him. Like everything, your burdens, your sin, like everything that you're dealing with, bring it upon to His feet. And watch everything change for you. All right. So I know we kind of getting a little close. My camera usually cuts off in 30 minutes, but I'm glad I got to sit some time with you guys today and talk about purpose, man. We talked about identity. Your identity is within Christ. You got to realize that. Okay. The second piece, we talked about your gifts, being aware of your gifts. Like don't be in a sense of comparison, because that gift is leading you somewhere. It may seem small to you, but it's going to help you out in the future. Don't just let it pass by. Don't just neglect it because you're worried about everybody else's gift. The third piece, we talked about serving people using those gifts. Serve others with the things that you have gone through. Use your testimony to help somebody save their lives. And the last piece is trusting in your Father instead of yourself. Okay? If those four things can help you, not if they can help you. I know they can help you, but I want you to just take some time today and sit in those things. All right? So, man, it's an honor to have this time here. And, man, I love you. I truly love you. I don't know who you is. I don't know what ethnicity you are. I don't know what gender you are, but I love you. And I pray that this video helped you. All right? Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. I'll catch you for the next one. Go on.